recording a podcast, number 91. Damn it. 91. It took
91.
91, yeah, it took a while because normally this podcast, SharQ Talk, is available every 2-3 weeks. Now it was down for 2 months. And it wasn't even a lockdown. But I was just lazy and had other stuff to do. So, yeah, sometimes it happens. And now people understand me talking English instead of Dutch, because sometimes it's Dutch and sometimes it's English. The two languages I speak, and that's it. So, yeah. But for the people that want to watch as well, it's available on YouTube and Facebook, of course. And then you can see we're in a beautiful backstage room in Uden, in De Pul, if we keep it Dutch. I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but it's just...
We were trying to figure it out in the car because we played there a couple of times already, but we keep forgetting if it's Uden or Uden, but I think it's Uden.
Uden,
yeah, of course. And De Pul, yes,
De Pul,
of course. Very nice venue.
Yeah, it is an amazing place. And every time I come here, it's not that often, but when I do, it's like, they built just a perfect venue. It's really small.
Totally agree.
But it's still 550 people that can fit in. It's just like, wherever you stand, you're in the front of the stage.
In the end, it's the perfect amount of people to have a good sound, you know, to have the good balance between have a good sound, have a lot of people as well. It works.
It works, yeah. It just works, yeah.
It works.
When people watch this, they already saw you. When people read the title, they already know that you called the Dirty Sound Magnet. Yes, I pronounced it right. Dirty Sound Magnet, yeah. But they have no clue who you are, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe they already been here whenever you played here. But let's start with a short introduction. That makes things easier, and then people can understand your voice as well, because they know mine already. So, who can give the voice to? Yeah.
Just, I can answer this very easily because I've been answering a few interviews, written interviews, and I had this type of questions. So.
Of course.
Lately also. So what I can say, I will maybe introduce ourselves by saying what is special about us. So what is special is we've been existing for quite a while. Yeah, the three of us, Maxime is missing from the picture, but he's right there, sound checking with the drums. So it's Marco on bass, me on guitar and vocals, and Maxime on drums. And we've been playing together for 15 years, so when we were very young. And that makes us special because we never stopped playing, rehearsing on a daily basis, playing shows. So we are now over 500 shows. And we've been really passionate about music from the very first day. So we have like strong musical convictions, and we know where we want to go with the music, and that really defines us in terms of the passion really defines us. And that now, if you want to put a frame around the music, I'd say for many people it would be psychedelic. Mm-hmm. Because there is an abstract sense to it. It will be a bit progressive because it can evolve anywhere. It's a bit alternative, and the basis is blues. So it's blues rock, right?
Yeah.
So the origin is blues rock, and from there it gets psychedelic, gets progressive, it gets experimental and alternative. So it's a big mix of things, and we allow ourselves to be open musically, so it can go anywhere. So yeah,
we recorded 2 tracks as well today. Mm-hmm. So people will hear in the near future some music as well recorded today, but they already can listen to the music, the albums you put out. You have 3 albums out, right?
Yes,
exactly. Yes,
and one we'll talk about in a few that will be released later. So people can listen to it and understand what you were saying, how it's what the sound is of
yeah. It's hard to define somehow.
Yeah. Because I was listening to last week to just a little bit of information for myself how it would sound, but always with the sessions it always sounds different, of course, because it's way smaller. But I was like, it fits on like every festival. It can be enjoyed late in the evening, as a lazy sound in the background, but it can also be way too energetic in a really small room that blows up. So it fits on many places. Even if it goes way bigger to stadiums, it fills the room. It's not that there are things missing, because you're with just 3 people, but the sound is like way bigger than just 3 people on
We
stage.
hear that a lot.
Yeah.
People asking like, but you are just 3. How is that? But also what you just said, it's very interesting, because I also have the belief that it can fit any stage. But nowadays with the music that's on the radio and what people are used to program on big stages, they don't really trust taking something that could be experimental on the first sight, but then everybody can, we feel it, everybody can understand it, We played at mainstream festivals and people actually got into it. Even rap people who listen to rap music, they were like, wow, we never heard this, what's this? So actually we just need, the trust, what we just lack sometimes is the trust of the festival promoters, which are like, I like to stick to the usual, and I don't know if I want to risk it. And when they risk it, it works because it's a bit different and we can catch the people with the energy, with the emotions. So as you say, I also believe it can fit many different places. It's not extreme, actually.
No, absolutely not. But maybe nowadays you have to be in, everything is separated in different categories. Everything has to have a precise label on what you expect, Yeah. So if you cross some borders and you can apply many labels to what you do, then it's going to be maybe harder to find like the good stage that want to...
The scene, yeah.
The scene that...
This is like if you're not rock, that label, okay, then you're not rock. Well, maybe there are some rock influences that people are liking when they listen to it. But you need to have that platform or that stage to let people hear it. And if they only see psychedelic, it's like, okay, that's not for me.
Exactly.
But it can be 1,000 things. It's not like one version. I mean, I went to a choir yesterday. I wanted to see a choir in Utrecht, and they were playing with an artist on that soundscapes. And it was like, okay, let's try to enjoy this. Let's see where it goes. But it's not something that people that going to a choir hear normally. So it's really nice if things are just in front of you and you need to listen to it, of course. You were saying as well that you already played playing together for 15 years. You are just beginning of 20s, I think. So it's like... You started when you were 5, or what's happening?
No, we are a bit older than that.
But thank you very much for the compliment. But now we are in our 30s.
People didn't hear that because it's way too loud when you're cheering for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, we are actually in our 30s, but we feel still very young. So you have so much music ahead, so many years.
But if you are in your 30s, it's still at the beginning or around 20. That you started to play together?
We started 17. Maxime was 14.
The drummer was a bit younger.
Damn.
Yes. So.
And already with music like this, or was it like something else that started with?
Actually, it was the original Dirty Sound Magnet sound was very close to what we do now, but we were instrumental. And we were just the 3 of us. And then it evolved for a few years where we had... we didn't sing back then, so we were always looking for singers, and then we were a 4-piece, and we did that for a while, and then somehow we understood that the real chemistry happens when we are the 3 of us. So we went back to that version, and we took up singing, and we actually understood that that's how it should be. And we have to accept how we sound and make the music our own and create our own sound. And it encouraged us because we were always looking, I think when we were young, we were looking for what they usually have in rock music. So it means a very powerful singer like in Led Zeppelin, Robert Plant. So we were aiming for that. And then when we had that, we were like, okay, now we're doing something that is close to that. And actually we found our identity by being ourselves and just doing the stuff. I have a pretty low pitched voice, and that gives a different tone to it. And they took up the backing vocals, so we created soundscapes with that as well. So I think we really found our identity in the last 5 years. So we could have even changed our name, but we kept the name. So I'd say since 2016, since then, it's the real birth of what we're doing now. So yeah, it took time to evolve. You know, every band has its own story, and our story was to go through all this, to also cope with limited exposure. So as a Swiss band, it's difficult to, especially because you mentioned it before, there is no psychedelic rock scene. It was the biggest scene in the 60s, 70s, but now there is none. So there is a metal scene, there is a punk scene, there is a punk, pop, whatever scene, but psychedelic scene, yeah, and is it really psychedelic what we do? So it doesn't even fit the stoner scene. So yeah, it's really in between genres. So it was always very difficult to find a scene. So, but it has been a benefit because that way we practiced even more. Practice every day. We were like, it's not enough. Let's practice again and again and again every day. Develop the music, and then when we really felt ready, we started playing everywhere around Europe. And I think it has been beneficial to have that time where, and in the end, being a Swiss band with less opportunities than maybe an English band, for example, was beneficial in the end because we could develop and we kept the passion. So there's something beautiful about it, because even if we didn't have a lot of opportunities, we always believed it and we did it for the passion. So there is something actually pretty beautiful and true about it. I'd say pure. So we kept doing it, and we're still doing it. And whatever happens, whatever shows we play, we enjoy everything. And we've never been so happy to be on stage. So it's just nice.
And it was what you're saying. I mean, you started with the three of you trying things, and now you found your voice, your sound, and then you can move on from there. As I mentioned, you already put out 3 records. One of them was a live record, if I'm not mistaken, and you traveled around the globe with over 500 shows already. That means that you saw a lot of places, and also places that you're like, I don't know if I fit here, if the band fits here, if it's our people. But that also means that you're how do you say, meeting people that you never expected to meet, because it's in a real different place.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's the best part of
it.
Yes,
but
really.
But touring is always also hard. It's like long hours. I mean, we had the story of today, but it's a hard work. You kept going for all those years and meeting all those people. Is that also bringing you back to the places once again, or is it that like you crossed paths with them one time and then it ends? Because sometimes bands are just put there one time and then that's it.
There's actually both cases.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Like maybe we're gonna meet you again. We don't know. You know, the Pul. We've played here in the Pul with as a support band for Doors Alive 4 or 5 years ago. We played here twice actually.
Yes.
So now we're coming back as a headline. So it's different. We're gonna meet some people again. Then you make connections. You in some countries you have friends. Then you see them again, and that's also the beautiful story of being a musician.
But I meant it more like you come from Switzerland, and it's like you play so many shows, but it's not like you already sold out 550 people. It's keep working. You keep working on that. Is it like to expand to more places, or is it like to expand on the places you already been?
When there is a show, we will go and we will play. You know, of course, we are trying to build an audience. Like for instance, in Germany, the idea is to keep going into the big cities everywhere in Europe, to London, Glasgow, to places where you try to build like a strong place with people that knows you. But sometimes the magic happens in cities where we never been. Like the last time we played in Dresden, in Germany, A lot of people showed up, and it was a magical evening with people enjoying music, only pure energy. And we didn't go back so far because COVID came along the road. But maybe we will go back to Dresden one day, and people that were there the first time will come back. It's hard to say, because there are so many possibilities for people nowadays to enjoy their evening. It's not only go to a concert, but they have all the possibilities at home, like the streaming services. So nowadays it's quite difficult to attract even the people that likes your music to tell them, hey, look, tonight there is a cool concert. Just come. You enjoyed it last time. Doesn't mean that they enjoyed it the first time that they will automatically come back.
But I'd say in our case we have pretty loyal fans.
Yes, of course. Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
People who keep coming and they've seen us 10 times and they keep coming. So
that's amazing.
That's very nice. Yeah, that's very nice because they say that the shows keep evolving and they notice that. So I think we're very lucky about that, and that's also how we build our career, because we know that it's not like a 100-meter run. It's a long marathon. So we know that when you play unusual music that is not like the music you'd hear on the radio, or sometimes whatever, but it's guitar music. So anyway, but it's going to be something where if you stay true to your art, people will get it, and in the long run they will be loyal to your music, present it to other people. So it's really something you build. That's I think what you were saying also. And then it's slow but it's steady and it lasts and makes sense. Actually, it makes so much sense. In the past, I think there was a lot of
one-hit wonders.
Very big shows, bands that got very, very big, like stadiums and so. And to me, it was maybe not 100% natural, And what we're doing today is maybe a bit more natural. You play for 100 organic, you play for 50, 100 people, and these people really something happens, a connection. I don't even need a bigger room, If you have that and you can create that with the people and something is happening, to me, it feels real. It feels there's something real about it. You're close to these people, and you are in a stadium. How much can you get of what's really happening on
the
stage?
first 2 rows, and then events. The rest is they're there, but you don't. Yeah,
and for the audience as well. What's the experience then? So I think maybe when we were young, we were dreaming about, wow, playing rock music means playing in front of a lot of people and being rich, whatever. But now we've learned that
now it's just the being rich part.
almost.
It's not about
in a different way.
Yeah.
Rich in different.
I mean, if you see so many places and you meet so many people, you can't. That's not something that you can put into money. It's way more worth than that.
Just the fact that you wake up every day and you really enjoy what you're doing. It seems that nowadays that's the best you can get from life,
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are understanding that the last 1.5 years that they are just like waking up and going to a job that they are like. Normally I go to a place and I meet my colleagues, and now I have to stay at home, wake up and still do my job, and it's not nice. And for you it's like, I can play music. So great job.
Even during that 1.5 year when everything was closed up, for us actually it was okay. Sometimes it was hard. It was hard
for everyone. Yeah.
But for the first year, we were actually full of energy. We met every day at the rehearsal room. We kept recording, writing new songs. So it was very inspirational.
It was like a break of touring because we toured a lot before.
Yeah.
And it was like, now we have time to focus on recording and creating the next.
And that's a nice bridge that you made there for indeed going to the next chapter. I mean, you have, like everyone, haven't been in a lockdown, but you're kept recording and going forward towards the new album. What's the difference between the previous one and the upcoming one? The upcoming one is going to release in March, if I'm still remembering correctly
Yes.
that you're saying. So the last year, I mean, you said you're full of energy recording and working towards a new one, but what changed between the previous one and the upcoming one?
My answer is going to be very confusing.
Yes.
Because
we have to clarify the timeline first.
Yes.
Okay.
So we start recording the album that is going to come out in March, right before the start of the pandemic. So in December 2019. So we recorded it during the winter, most of it. And then we finished recording it around April, May. So it was
beginning of
the lockdown, yeah. So then we started mastering it, mixing it. And at the same time, we recorded Live Alert, so the live album. Mm-hmm. The live album was actually recorded after in the timeline. So that album was supposed to be recorded on the road, but as we had to cancel the shows, we did a studio session out of it, which actually came out very nicely. So we're really happy about that, how things went. Because,
still live, yeah.
Yeah, still live, but we could really concentrate, focus on the music, so it was really good. And so we recorded the studio album that's going to come out in March before, then we recorded Live Alert, and then we kept mixing and everything, and then we recorded another album. So now we are already working on a fourth, or I don't know how to count.
Wait, let's check my calendar. When is that coming out?
So that's the complicated part as well.
So that once we finished producing the Live Alert and the album that's going to come out in March, we started, because we had so many new songs that we kept doing many things, recording an album, writing new songs, playing. It was really like the brain was exploding, but it was nice. And, I was at some point, I was like, I have to stop writing songs because now we have four albums.
Stavros was unable to sleep for many days. Yeah. We had to say to him, calm down, just calm down for a few days.
So it's gonna be an epic part of 17 albums now, with 21 songs on each of one of them.
So now we're not going to release this album in March, so to clarify the situation. And then I hope at the end of the year we're going to release that other album that we were working on right now. Yeah. So actually now I can go into your question now, the evolution of the music. So we recorded our first two studio albums are very psychedelic, very experimental, so they are studio works. Then with Live Alert, we understood that we can actually reproduce what we're doing live and still sound big, so we can actually play live in the studio. So that was a revelation somehow. We don't need to produce the traditional way, like really being very
strict lines.
We can just actually play, and that's what we did with that album that's going to come out in March. It's still a studio album, so it's going to be a bit more production, but still we played it live. So it's actually the mixture of that experience doing the live thing and the previous experimental album. So we managed to find the middle path, keep the energy and still make it a studio album. So that's the album that's going to come out in March, which is a resume of the last 6 years on stage. It's our energy. It's actually the tracks that we play for a long time on stage, but didn't get on an album for several reasons. So that's the album that's going to come out in March. And then we did something much more dreamy, much more folk. I'd say really quiet, mellow. It's very different. It's really...
Without boundaries.
Without boundaries. It's really music that can go anywhere. And that's a very different path. People are going to be surprised because there's no distortion. It's very different from what we did before. And so the album that's going to come out in March is going to be very powerful, very energetic. It's like really rock music. And the one we're going to release after that, it's going to be the opposite. So we're just really looking forward to both of them.
That's going to be a live experience if you have to play them both.
Yes, we didn't think about this.
That's the next step. We'll figure it out.
So it will come out in March, but you are here right now in the Netherlands playing 4 shows. 3 in the Netherlands, 1 in Belgium, or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah. So what are you promoting right now then? The live album, or is it already a sneak preview for the upcoming one?
It's a good question because some of the shows, these shows were actually rescheduled.
Okay.
So it was actually a tour for the promotion of the live album.
Okay.
But now, we're not even mentioning that. We're just playing, and
We're just happy to be back on the road.
and we just released a single from the new album. It's called Heavy Hours, and actually, we're releasing so much stuff and all, so that we didn't play it yesterday. I don't know why. We just didn't play it. And there was a guy who came at the end of the show and said, "But you just released the single. Why didn't you play it? I came for that. I heard it everywhere." I was like, "Oh, sorry. I just, we are elsewhere."
The timeline
Yeah.
is complicated even for us. We are living in the past and in the future at the same time somehow.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same for a lot of people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And every touring band will go on stage and say, "Oh, we're happy to be back on stage." It counts for everyone. I mean, and some people release an album just the day after the pandemic started, and they're like, we can't go on tour. And now, almost 2 years later, it's like, do I still need to play those old tracks from 2 years ago because we already written so many new things, or have already been working on new things and stuff like that? So I understand it's difficult to be back on stage with conflicting minds at that point. To okay, we did that, we booked this tour because of that, but we're now here and already moved on and things like that. I want to wrap this up before the camera knocks out.
Shut down, yeah.
But maybe it will, but hey, whatever. Audio first. You're going to play the few shows this weekend. So today is the Pool, tomorrow is Arnhem, Luxor.
Yeah.
Luxor, really great place, really beautiful place.
We are lucky. We are lucky for this tour. Huh?
Yeah, it's I saw the list, and there are Kafka you played in Antwerp.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been to all those places. What's next on the touring part? When are you coming back to the Netherlands? Or
so now we're after those few shows, we're gonna go back in Switzerland. We have very nice shows there.
Okay.
For the whole November part of the year, and then we go back in the UK in December, and for the Netherlands, then it's going to be next year for the album release tour.
Yeah, so we've got 2 weeks in December in the UK. Then the new year, where we're gonna prepare everything for the release. We've got music videos to make and everything. And then around March, we're gonna play release shows in Switzerland. In April, we're gonna have a big European tour with our friends Dax and Roxanne from London. And this is gonna start in Belgium, a few days in the Netherlands, I think, in early April. But it's just 1 or 2 shows. Then we're going to go to France, Spain, Italy, Austria.
The big tour.
Germany, yeah. And then we're going to come back to the Netherlands in May. So I know,
it's a really nice trip.
Actually, we will... from March on, I think next year we will never stop touring. It's, because, people keep asking us, do you actually manage to make a living out of it? And our answer is we manage not to die doing it. So
that's really rock and roll.
So it's actually the way. It's the never-ending tour that keeps you alive somehow.
So I'll put the socials in the link below in the show notes, and the link below. Yeah, both. So people can check whenever it's announced. Is it announced already, the tour? Or it's going to be announced?
No, not yet. It's going to be announced at the end of the month.
Soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So check the website, check the socials, follow, and all those things.
Thank you.
So people can see where you're going to play, because they're going to miss the show tonight, and that's sad for them. But maybe if you're really quick and you're listening to this on Sunday, you can go to the Luxor in Arnhem. I guess there's still some tickets left.
Yes.
Yeah. So
of course.
Yeah. Another. So if you're really lucky and you hear this on Sunday, you can. But otherwise, the next tour part.
Yeah, follow us on socials and there's
and it's going to be fun.
There.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for recording the songs. We're going to release them but we'll figure out what the timeline for that one is, because timeline issue. So we'll figure that out. So check out the socials for myself, and you'll see the shows coming up. The songs coming up somewhere there. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna try to record a next SharQ Talk soon, but it's busy in the concert world, so I'm really busy at the moment. So that's always difficult to do this in between. But I'm happy I did that today, because now I met you. It sounded really great, and the rest of the people will hear that really soon. Thank you very much again, and see you next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.